In this video, I'm going to show you a forgotten home design that left intruders with nowhere to hide, the old layout idea that made yards, porches, windows, fences, and neighbors work together before cameras ever showed up, acting like they invented awareness. Then we stopped using it, starting with, alright, picture a house built in the early 1900s. Not a mansion, not a fortress, just a regular home on a street. But look closer, and you notice something houses often lost. The front porch faces the sidewalk. The sitting room windows look toward the street. The path to the door is obvious. The yard is not a maze. The shrubs are low enough to see over. The fence marks the property without creating secret corners. The side yard is visible from a window. The back entrance is not buried in a dark little cave where trouble can stand and rehearse. If someone walks up, the house exposes them. That is the design. Not high-tech, not dramatic, not some secret government security trick, just visibility. The old home was arranged so movement could be noticed. A stranger could not easily drift through the property without crossing sight lines, making noise, passing windows, or stepping into places where neighbors might see. That is what made it powerful. Modern security often asks, how do we record the intruder? Old design asked, why give the intruder a hiding place? That question is better than people realize. The forgotten design is natural surveillance. That means arranging a home so people can naturally see what is happening around it. Windows, porches, doors, paths, fences, lighting, and landscaping all work together to reduce hidden areas. This was not always a formal theory in older houses. People simply built homes that faced the street, watched the yard, and connected the house to the neighborhood. The front room had windows. The porch had a view. The door was visible. The walkway was clear. The yard had boundaries without becoming a bunker. A lot of older neighborhoods had this built into the pattern. Houses were closer to the street. Porches were used. Neighbors could see one another's front yards. Kids played outside. Adults sat near windows or on steps. The whole block had eyes. That matters because intruders love privacy. Not the peaceful kind of privacy where you drink coffee without someone judging your pajamas. The criminal kind. Blind spots. Tall hedges. Hidden recesses. Side doors nobody can see. Windows blocked by overgrown shrubs. Alleys with no sightline. Back entries that look like they were designed by someone who said, what if we gave burglars a waiting room? Natural surveillance removes comfort. It makes the wrong person feel exposed before anything happens. A burglar does not only look for weak locks. They look for time and concealment. A weak door on a busy street is one problem. A weak door hidden behind a wall, tall shrub, or recessed entry is a much bigger problem. Concealment gives a person time to pry, force, test, and make mistakes without being seen. That is why hidden corners matter. A person standing in full view has pressure on them. A person standing in a dark side yard has opportunity. Old home design often reduced that opportunity. The approach was visible. The porch was open. The windows looked out. The fence guided movement. The plantings did not create walls of cover. The house did not leave every vulnerable spot tucked behind decorative privacy. Modern homeowners sometimes accidentally do the opposite. They plant tall shrubs for curb appeal. They add privacy fences that block the street view. They create deep entry alcoves. They put side gates behind walls. They install garage-heavy facades with few front windows. Then they add a camera and hope the little plastic eyeball catches everything. The problem is not only what the camera sees. The problem is what the house hides. The front porch was one of the best old natural surveillance tools. Not because it had lasers. Not because Grandma was secretly running a tactical command center from a rocking chair. Because the porch put people outside, facing the street, with a clear view of the approach. A porch made the front yard socially active. Someone sitting there could see visitors, delivery people, neighbors, salesmen, kids, strangers, and anyone walking a little too slowly past the house. It also made the homeowner visible, which signaled that the house was occupied and watched. That changes behavior. A person with bad intentions does not love approaching a house where someone might be sitting outside, looking directly at the path. They prefer stillness. Empty windows. Dark recesses. No witnesses. No faces. Old porches also made neighbors part of the system. A block full of porches created overlapping attention. One person might not notice everything, but many people casually noticing ordinary life creates a difficult environment for someone trying to sneak around. Modern homes often reduced porches to decorations. A tiny slab, 2 columns. No room to sit, no view worth using. The porch became a costume, like fake shutters pretending to protect windows. When the porch stopped being used, the street lost eyes. Old houses often had front-facing rooms with usable windows. Parlors, sitting rooms, dining rooms, and bedrooms looked toward the street or yard. Those windows were not just for sunlight. They connected the inside of the house to the outside world. A window creates awareness. You see headlights, shadows, people at the gate, movement near the side yard, a stranger standing too close to the house. You may not be watching constantly, but the possibility of being seen changes the space. Modern layouts sometimes weaken that. Garages take over the front. Large blank walls face the street. Living spaces move to the back. Front windows become smaller, higher, tinted, covered, or decorative. The house turns inward. That feels private, but it can create a security problem. If nobody inside can see the front approach easily, then the front approach belongs to whoever walks there. This is why old visibility mattered. It did not require someone staring through curtains all day like a suspicious movie neighbor. It simply made the outside visible from normal living areas. The best security is not always active. Sometimes it is passive. You notice because the design lets you notice. Landscaping can help or hurt security, and old homes often understood that better than we do. Low shrubs under windows could soften the house without hiding the window completely. Open lawns made movement visible. Trees were often limbed up so people could see beneath them. Thorny plants were placed where lingering was unwanted. Paths were defined so normal movement had a route. The key was not removing all plants. Nobody wants a house sitting in a lifeless yard like it is waiting for inspection. The key was using plants without creating hiding places. Modern landscaping sometimes creates privacy first and visibility second, or visibility never. Tall foundation shrubs swallow windows. Hedges block porch views. Ornamental trees create dark pockets. Large planters hide entry corners. Privacy screens make side yards invisible. It may look lush. It may feel cozy. It may also give an intruder cover. That is the awkward truth. A beautiful shrub can become a burglar's curtain if it is in the wrong place. Old defensive landscaping was more honest. It asked, does this plant make the house safer, or does it give someone a place to disappear? That is still the right question. Another forgotten feature was the clear, intentional path. Old homes often used a walkway that guided visitors from the street or gate to the front porch. That sounds basic, because it is. But basic things matter. When the normal path is clear, abnormal movement stands out. If a visitor belongs there, they use the path. If someone cuts across the yard, slips along the side, or stands near a window, that behavior looks different. That is security through design. Modern open yards sometimes make every route possible. Wide driveways, open lawns, multiple paved areas, side paths, garage entries, and hidden gates can blur the normal approach. When every direction is acceptable, suspicious movement becomes harder to define. A clear path creates expectations. It says, this is how guests approach. Anything else becomes noticeable. Burglars do not like noticeable. This is why old paths, gates, and porches work together. They did not just decorate the yard, they choreographed movement. They made the visitor perform a predictable route in view of the house. That is a smart system, even if nobody called it one. If the front of a house is the polite handshake, the side yard is where security often goes to die. Side yards are narrow, shaded, and easy to ignore. They can hold basement windows, side doors, utility entrances, crawlspace access, and gates. They are also often hidden from the street. That makes them attractive to someone who wants privacy while doing something stupid. Older homes sometimes handled side yards better because side windows, neighboring houses, fences, and smaller lots kept them visible. A person moving along the side might be seen from a kitchen window, a neighbor's porch, or the street. Modern lots can create long hidden channels beside the house. Tall fences block neighbors. HVAC units, trash bins, shrubs, and walls create cover. A side gate opens to a private runway toward the back. That is not ideal. A hidden side yard gives an intruder time. Time to test a window. Time to reach a back door. Time to wait. Time to disappear when a car passes. Old natural surveillance teaches a simple rule. Do not create places where a stranger can stand comfortably unseen. If someone wants to hide, the house should make that difficult. Old houses did not have modern motion lights, but they still used light as part of visibility. Porch lamps, street lamps, front windows, and occupied rooms created a glow that made the approach less comfortable for someone sneaking around. A lit porch told visitors where to go. A visible window told strangers someone might be home. A street-facing entrance put activity into public view. Modern lighting is better in many ways. Motion lights, timers, low-voltage path lights, and smart bulbs can all help. But the principle is old. Light should reveal movement, not just decorate the siding. The mistake is using lighting only for style. Pretty uplights on trees are nice, but if the side gate is dark, the security job is not done. A glowing porch is charming, but if the back path is black, trouble knows where to stand. Good lighting removes hiding places. It does not have to turn your house into a gas station at midnight. It just needs to make the vulnerable areas uncomfortable for someone who wants darkness. Old home visibility worked best when the neighborhood helped. Porches faced porches. Windows faced streets. Houses were close enough for people to notice each other. Sidewalks had activity. Neighbors knew normal patterns. That created informal watchfulness. This did not mean everyone was nosy, although, let's be honest, some people absolutely were. It meant there was social awareness. A strange car stood out. A person at the wrong gate looked strange. A noise at night had witnesses. Modern life weakened this in many places. People enter through garages. Front doors go unused. Porches sit empty. Blinds stay closed. High fences block views. Neighbors may not know each other. The street becomes quieter, but not always safer. When houses stop looking outward, the neighborhood loses shared visibility. A camera can help one house. A watchful street helps all of them. That is the bigger design lesson. Security is not only private, it can be communal without being complicated. We stopped using natural surveillance because modern life changed what people wanted from homes. Privacy became a priority. People wanted taller fences, deeper setbacks, bigger garages, quieter streets, and houses that felt like private retreats. That is understandable. Nobody wants to feel watched every time they take out the trash and socks. Cars changed the front of the house. The garage became the main entrance. Porches shrank. Front rooms moved away from the street. Driveways grew. The house stopped greeting the sidewalk and started greeting the car. Air conditioning changed things too. People no longer needed open windows and porches for comfort. They stayed indoors. Windows closed. Blinds closed. Outdoor sitting declined. Then technology offered a tempting shortcut. Why design visibility into the house when you can add cameras later? Why keep porch culture when a doorbell camera can watch the steps? Why trim the hedges when a motion alert can buzz your phone? Because design still matters. Technology can watch a bad layout. It does not automatically fix it. Privacy is good, too much hiding space is not. That is the balance modern homes often struggle with. A tall hedge gives privacy from the street, but it may also hide someone near a window. A solid fence protects the backyard from view, but it may also block neighbors from seeing trouble. A recessed entry feels sheltered, but it may give a stranger a place to stand unseen. Good design does not eliminate privacy, it manages it. You want private living spaces, not secret attack points. You want screened patios, not blind corners at doors. You want landscaping that softens views, not landscaping that swallows windows. You want a fence that defines space, not a fence that turns the side yard into a tunnel. Old homes were not perfect, but many kept a better relationship between privacy and visibility. The house could feel personal without becoming blind. Modern homes sometimes treat visibility like a problem, but for security, visibility is often the solution. Cameras are useful. They can record, they can alert, they can show you the front porch while you are sitting in a grocery store parking lot wondering if you bought eggs. But cameras did not replace sightlines. A camera has limits. It has an angle. It can be blocked. It can miss motion. It can record after the decision has already been made. It can show someone standing in a hidden area, but it may not make that area less hidden. Good sightlines change behavior before the camera matters. If a person feels visible from the street, porch, windows, and neighbors, they may never try the approach. That is prevention, not just documentation. Modern security often loves documentation, clear footage, timestamps, alerts, cloud storage. Great. But if the house gives a person 10 comfortable places to hide, the camera is working too late. Old design reduced hiding places first. That is why it deserves another look. Bringing this idea back does not mean turning your home into a glass box where everyone can see you eating cereal. It means checking the outside of your house for blind spots. Can someone stand at your front door without being seen from the street? Are your windows hidden behind shrubs? Is the side gate invisible? Is the back door in a dark recess? Do fences block all neighbor views? Does the garage dominate the front so nobody inside can see the approach? Then fix what makes sense. Trim shrubs below window height. Limb trees up so people cannot hide behind low branches. Add lighting to side paths. Use fences that define space without creating secret corridors. Keep the front entrance visible. Make the normal path obvious. Use thorny plants where lingering is a problem. Place cameras where the design already exposes movement. That last part matters. Cameras work better when the space is designed well. A camera watching a visible path is better than a camera trying to guess what is happening behind a wall of shrubs. Walk outside and look at your home like someone who should not be there. Where would you hide? Where could you stand without being seen from a window, street, or neighbor's house? Which door gives the most privacy? Which window has the best cover? Which side path feels like a tunnel? Which lights miss the important spots? Now reverse it. Open sight lines where you can. Trim plants. Add light. Define paths. Make gates visible. Keep address areas clear. Avoid deep hiding pockets near doors. Make sure cameras are not your only layer. You do not need to remove every bit of privacy. You just need to stop giving strangers comfortable hiding spots next to the parts of your house they might attack. That is the old design lesson. This forgotten home design left intruders nowhere to hide because it treated visibility as security. The porch watched the street, the windows watched the yard, the path guided visitors. The landscaping avoided cover. The neighbors could notice movement. The house worked with the block instead of hiding from it. We stopped using it because privacy, cars, garages, bigger lots, tall fences, closed blinds, and modern security devices changed how homes were built and lived in. But the old idea still works. A burglar wants darkness, cover, time, and privacy. Natural surveillance takes those away. It does not need to be aggressive. It does not need to be ugly. It just needs to make the wrong person feel visible. Today, we have cameras that can show us what happened. Old design tried to make sure there was nowhere comfortable for it to happen. That is the difference. Sometimes the best security is not another device. Sometimes it is removing the hiding place entirely.